hot day. Liked it. Got a lot of work in, got a lot of conditioning in as far as practicing in the heat. Liked the guys there. A little stiff in the beginning, but really got going, and I thought had a very good practice. Very attentive to detail. Very, very, very efficient practice. I really liked what we did. I really did. Questions?
How nice is it just, for your first road game to only be 4 hours away from home?
Well, I mean, it is good because we have a lot of fans. Hopefully we get a lot of Florida State people in there and they can see. And some of our kids, it's a chance for them to play closer to home, and that's not a bad thing. But, it's still, the people on the other side are going to be just as mean. So when you go on the roads, it's going to still be tough, a very tough environment.
Do you think just staying inside yesterday, contributed to a little bit of the focus?
I think it did because, the recovery time is the big thing you're worried about after a game. And those games, those late night games, getting that 48 hours in before you get back out here is huge. And I think it did. It let us get our bodies back in. We had a lot of walkthroughs and mental meetings and things like that. So I think it helped. I really do.
Speaking of environment, I know you guys were using for defense. I guess for the environment, also for the hurry up the fans. How did that work out?
I think it was really good. Got calls in and got them in quicker, and guys could communicate a lot easier. We thought it was very good.
Is that something that you guys might reach?
Yeah, we could. Yeah, oh yeah, we could keep that system. You always got to have different ways to communicate because people always do take your signals too.
Yeah.
Scooter get back in the action.
Oh yeah, he had a great day today. Running around, catching balls, looked good. Yes, sir.
Devontae was out here as well too.
Who? Oh yeah, Devontae. Boy, he was energized. One of his best practices he's had here in a long time. I was really happy with the practice he had.
Obviously, he had the off-field stuff this week. That it was an issue. But even the week before, it seemed like he didn't get quite as many touches as he had.
No, the other guys are playing really good. I mean, it's nothing Devontae's doing. 4 and 32 are really cranking it up, and and we got a hot hand going, and we got things going, so we just didn't want to break the rhythm with it. It has nothing to do with Devontae. Is not doing anything wrong. The other guys are just doing some things really good, and I think that's why you saw him really pick it up today. And I thought he had a really good day, and so we feel we can put them all three in.
What is the move for Coach Craig down on the sideline kind of done for EJ? And
I think it's easier for the whole team as far as our communication, for somebody over there to talk to him and talk him through different situations, because I'm trying to run the team and do different things, and having him there not just on the headset but looking him in the eye. When you look somebody in the eye and talk to him, you can get a feel for if it's really getting across, it's not getting across, the information. He can ask the questions back, and they don't have to sit there on the phone and worry about other players wanting on the phone to talk to their coach and that kind of thing. And I think it's been very good.
When did you guys decide to make that move him down?
Going into this year.
Yeah.
I did. I wanted to have that situation go that way.
Jimbo, we touched on it yesterday a little bit, but as a play caller, how much does it just open up everything when you know you can run the ball?
Oh, it changes the world.
Right.
And one, it gives you a break. You got 2 or 3 runs that you feel good. You can get 3 or 4, 5, 6 yards. Get good down in distances. Kind of because they may be changing some things up. They'd be able to let's make them anchor their feet back down in, and they can't pass rush, or we can work a play action game. But being able to run the football is the key to everything. I truly believe that. I mean, you got the guys that throw it around, but when you play good people and really good people, you got to be able to do both and run the key. And first of all, be able to run the ball.
And how much is that your quarterback checking into the right run too? Is that
both? It's all our linemen adjusting, our backs adjusting, quarterback getting us in and out of the right things. I mean, all of that is a big part of it, Corey. Yes.
Does he run the option as well as anybody? I'm talking about the traditional option.
Yeah,
about as well as the quarterback you've had.
Yes, of anybody I've had. I mean, he's very natural at those things. Especially for a team that really don't do it a lot.
I was going to say the one on the 10-yard line or something.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a natural feel for things.
Yeah.
He really does when it comes that way. So we don't have to use it a lot, and we probably won't, but we'll pick and choose our moments.
It works out all right when he does it.
It's a pretty good play, isn't it?
Don't see too many 6'5" guys run it as well as he does. Most of those guys were all 6 foot or 6'1" guys.
You're exactly.
Maybe.
They're pluggers,
yeah.
and they're not as quick bodied, and it takes that to run the option with your feet to make the cut. And then it also helps when your vision on pitches and that length, man. You can't get to that ball. Those short guys, sometimes those long guys can bat it, but he's as long as some of those ends, so he can get that extension and get the ball out. You're exactly right.
Have you seen an increased confidence in guys like Waysome and Darby after having such a great game?
No doubt. I mean, when you play big moments and you come through them and you have that, I think it builds confidence in so many different ways. But yes, those young guys I think are really evolving into that. I can see their confidence growing. We got to continue to play well.
As well as the defense has played collectively through the season, getting that turnover in the late stages of the game, how much of a lift is that potentially? Because it's the one area that you don't have an overwhelming number of stats. I mean, to make a play in a big moment and
exactly. I mean, it's another dimension that you have to have because and that you always, whether you stop them, get 3 and outs, create turnovers, create negative plays. I mean, that's a big part of playing defense is getting turnovers and they were on the field enough to get some. Some of the other games, you're 3 and out to situations, people are doing things they know they can't protect. It's hard to get turnovers, but when teams are have the same talent level, you got to be able to do that, and that was a big play, huge play.
Going back to
Speaking of turnovers, you talked a couple times in recent weeks about the special teams putting the ball on the ground. Are you still confident in Rashad? with
Yeah,
what
I
he's
am.
doing?
I am. But we got to fix that. I mean, we got to fix that. And part of that problem was we had a blocker who didn't do his job. We had a double team on a guy that was sitting at his feet that he had to jump around. That both him and our guy were sitting there, and they shouldn't be there. It should have been a double team at the line of scrimmage. Part of those issues go back to we're not holding up like we need to all the time properly, and that can cause it. But still, there's no reason to put the ball on the ground. You run in there, if they all hit you, it's a penalty on them. And you got to put your nose in there and make the play.
A couple of guys were talking earlier about James between last year and this year, and just saying that last year it seemed like maybe he might have been a little tentative going through some of those holes, and maybe.
Well, and I think that's from lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
It goes back to my issue about when you move into a new neighborhood, or you're going to see a buddy in a new neighborhood, how slow you go in the beginning. Then after you go 3 or 4 or 5 times, 6 times, you get faster and faster. And then the stop signs aren't there anymore. Then you get a ticket, and you get a ticket, and everything else goes haywire. It gets worse. But I think that's what it is. It's a knowledge of what he's doing, which is allowing him to play faster and see things, and he knows what he's looking at. And I think that's the key. It's knowledge.
How do you think the team has responded after such a big emotional win in Clemson and preparing for an opponent, who's not maybe as big in USF?
Well, it is to us. I mean, there's big to us, but our team today was very focused. It was one of our better practices. I liked what I saw on the practice field today. I really did.
How much of a difference do you feel in the program from the last time that you played South Florida versus?
Oh, I think it's a totally different situation. I mean, I really do as far as where we're at. I mean, I don't know enough about them. I mean, they've got still got great players in. They had, I think 6 or 7 of those guys on that defense are in the NFL that we played on that day. I mean, they had some, high picks. They had a bunch of them, and they still got great players. So, but for us, I think our program's in a little different situation right now, a little different culture and mentality right now. I like where we're at. I really do.
Coach, one of the things that some of the seniors have talked about was difference in culture, like you just alluded to with the team unity. Could you just talk about some of the things you changed when you took over to kind of build that culture?
Well, I mean, I think one takes time. You have to get to know somebody and build a relationship. And whether it's a locker room, we changed the locker room around, whereas offensive and defensive players are beside each other in every locker. It's an offensive, defensive guy, and a big guy and a little guy, big guy, little guy. We rotated guys you're never around as much. The way we have to eat in the cafeteria all the time. We eat all the meals together. It's mandatory. You're not eating off campus. You're eating in here. So you're in there sitting more. We try to do more functions. There's just a lot of little things in Unity Council and having a team. And just, there's a lot of little things we tried to do. And the kids, and we got a bunch of guys. When you have a bunch of guys and you recruit a bunch of guys who have the same goals and aspirations, they kind of think alike, and they're similar type people, they like hanging around together because they have, like you do, you like to hang around people who have common interests with you because you can share information and talk, and I think that's kind of what's happened.
How important is those unity council meetings? A lot of the guys talked about those in the off season, just giving them a chance.
They're tremendous because it's not us doing them. They can run and organize and run things, and they still do them now. And where's the issues, they take care of it. And they trust the leadership of the team. The young guys trust the leadership of the team, and the older guys are going to make them trust it.